Yeah, you'll love this. So my niece Emma Myers is on this show Wednesday on Netflix. Yeah, so she is Ingrid, the best friend to Wednesday. So, Enid. Wow. I'm sorry, Enid. I got her name wrong.
Is she the roommate?
She's the roommate.
Girl.
She's the blonde.
And my daughter will freak out.
Yes. So we were talking about social media blowing up, and she has a platform, right? And of course, she was homeschooled the whole way up, loves Jesus, and having to live in this new fast-paced role and keep who she is, right? Which I think I'm loving what I'm seeing. It's super difficult. But she has a very tight family, and we were talking about family earlier. Her parents love her. Her sister, she has 3 other sisters. There's 4 girls. And they love each other with a true sister love that you would only dream of, right? And so I think with that, she's, destined to do great things. But her followers, we would watch it day, and she would gain 1 million followers, a day. And we were like, she's... And we were joking because at one time she had surpassed Ron DeSantis.
Oh, wow.
And so in our group chat, in our family group chat on text, my daughter is like, Emma for governor. Emma for governor. And so we're super proud of her. I think, one thing I want to just kind of leave everybody with is just knowing that the Harps and, my sister's family, my brother's family, we're not unicorns. We were just purposeful in how we raise our children. And I think that hopefully we can give inspiration to the rest of the nation on how to be purposeful in rebuilding our country. I love her. Have you seen any of her stuff?
I watched Wednesday.
I watched it.
I thought Wednesday was cute.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have watched it. She wouldn't have been in there. But
yeah. I've seen a few episodes. So my daughter loves Wednesday. She's like, Wednesday. And I was like, how do you know what Wednesday is? Because I never put it on in front of her. So I was like, how do you know this? And so it was YouTube. She saw it on YouTube.
Right.
Of course.
Oh, she didn't watch it on...
No. And so I put it on the other day. I'm like, hey, why don't we watch Wednesday together? So I turned it on and she's like, that's not the same Wednesday. And I was like, oh yeah, because it's like they're dolls that she watches. It's like these little dolls that has, but she knows it's Eden and Wednesday, and she knows like all about them. And, so I was like, no, well, this is the little show. So we watched a little bit of it together. And
how do you monitor what your kids are watching on YouTube and social media? Because when I was a kid...
You have to, you can't just let them have their stuff.
Sears catalog was about as hardcore as I could get.
Yeah. Or the JCPenney catalog where you circled what you wanted.
No, I'm talking about the lingerie sections for young boys or whatever. I'm serious. Like that was as hardcore as it got, right? And now...
Yeah. There's a couple of mechanisms. So Bill and I did not allow TVs or computers in their rooms. Mm-hmm. And then the computer was in the screen facing out, and little things like that I think help, but it's not foolproof by any means.
Yeah.
I mean, our kids have gotten in trouble before with certain things, and what I told them, I always pray that you get caught quickly.
Yes.
And they're like, would you stop praying that? No, I want you to get caught quickly.
I would steal their stuff and read it. Mm-hmm. So I read text messages. I mean, I used to with Zachary. I mean, I remember this one time they were like 5th grade or something, and he had this group chat going on with a bunch of his little buddies, and one of them made some comment that they wanted to, with some girl, and I was like, what? You're 5th grade? And it wasn't my son, but I called his grandma and told her.
Good.
I was like, you need to get on that group chat and look what was written. And she's like, thank you so much, because they were she was a pastor's wife.
Oh, wow.
And so
it's always the pastor's wives.
I know.
But I mean,
the pastor's kids, man. No, I'm just kidding.
But they were raising their grandkids, and I wanted to make sure she was aware of what was happening. But I do think, like, as parents, we're a community that has to help each other.
Yes.
Yep. It's a tribe.
Our church had a program about it, and it scared the heck out of me.
But there's another program called Bark. And so you can put it on their devices. You can put it on their cell phone. You can put it on their computers, all their emails, everything. And it will alert a parent. I had it on Zachary's. It would alert me if, like, it was funny. I would get all these alerts, drugs, and it was like news articles. Because for school, they had to be a part of, like, for English and stuff. Right. But it was all these news articles that were coming across, and it would alert me every single time. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you have to be smart about it.
Yep.
And invade their privacy. They don't have privacy.
Right.
They're kids.
We always tell them this: when you're at home, it's a safe place to mess up. We pray they get caught quickly, but that way they would know that we're going to talk through everything, right? And whenever the little boys, Bill and I have 3 boys, and the minute they started being interested in girls, and you have the whole pornography thing that you have to be really super careful. So we would talk about it, and I go, this is going to, if you allow it will poison your mind, and it actually will kind of ruin your marriage, and here's why. And they're like, I can't believe I'm having this discussion with my mother. Well, who else is going to tell you?
Right.
If I don't tell you, who else is going to?
Your friends are all going to be building it up like it's this great thing, and their fascination with it's going to build and build, and then you're going to find out that you're a victim to it and worshiping it.
Yes.
And it's going to take this place in your life that is very, very problematic.
It's hard, and there's all these kind of cultural things that the little boys, but now it's little girls too that are getting roped into, and we have. That's where I think a lot of the
look how many young women are doing porn,
right,
and OnlyFans and things like that.
Yeah,
no, it's really
and
sad.
It's being massively financially rewarded. Prostitution is very easy through the internet, and it's bad.
I try to stress to my kids, whatever you do, it stays with you.
They can't get rid of it. That's the whole thing.
There's
a digital footprint.
Yes.
There's a digital footprint.
Permanent for now on for forever.
Yeah. So we
scares
caution.
me.
Well, I know, right?
Even for me, and who knows?
Well, thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
This
Thank
was
you for
so much
thank you for
fun.
coming.
Let's do it again.
Sure.
Yes. Absolutely.
The election's in 11 months away, so maybe we can do it again before.
And then come back, win or lose.
Oh, absolutely.
Come back, win or lose after that, and because one way or the other, we'll have plenty to talk about at that point too.
Yeah.
Do you know who you're going up against?
Yeah, well, I should tell you all this real quick. So we're running for Congress in U.S. Congressional District 3, which is Collin County and Hunt County. This is our second time to run, and I always say, us, because we do have a very large team, both here in Collin, and we have a few staffers in D.C. that help us out. What's interesting is last time we came in 3rd place, and so it went to a runoff between first and second. First drops out, second automatically takes the nomination with about 27% of the vote. And everybody was scratching their head going, okay, so does that mean that I will be put on the ballot as a 3rd place? Well, no, I think back in 2017 there was a law that was passed, and it looked like it was a Band-Aid law to say, no, that this person will just be the nominee. So we did the hard work of drafting legislation, working with the Texas Senate, and getting a bill through committee, and it's passed the Texas Senate now, the floor, and now it's in the House, that simply just says if first place drops out, 3rd place will be on the ballot, and you will indeed have a runoff, so that the law is congruent with whenever you have a primary or a general, right? That why would this runoff all of a sudden be different, right? In Texas, we like our 50+1. Well, what happens is you will see a lot of times in races, if you run just straight data, that you'll have your first and second. That 3rd place often would have actually been first place, that second place actually hits a ceiling, and that's what we believed happened. And why we believe we still have a lot of support to run in the future. We have mayor pro tems, we have superintendents that are on board, we have school board and city council members that are on board across the district that are saying if we knew it was between you and the guy who won, we would have chosen you, but we thought it was in the incumbent. Right, and we were going to go with the incumbent because we felt like he had good experience. So having said all that, at the end of the day, if we can get this law across the finish line, we believe it'll protect Texas. And when I testified in front of the Texas Senate, I said, think about Texas Land Commission and Texas Railroad Commission. Both went to a runoff. Second place, both had about 15% respectively. Can you imagine if something, God forbid, were to happen to Don Buckingham, and you would have a 15% candidate in the general? What would you do if you were a Democrat? Because I know what I would do. I'd pour millions into that race to try to win that race, right? So, and it can happen to anybody, and we're going to have more and more, God willing, people participate in politics. So you could have 5-7 people in a very crowded race, and all of a sudden the numbers are dispersed. And so at the end of the day, if we can, it's just one way to protect our elections, to making sure that we're actually getting the 50+1 across the finish line.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's guests like you that we have on the Lawyer Dana Show. So please like, subscribe, give us some comments, tell us what you like, tell us what you want to see, and we will do our best to deliver that to you so that you can have a healthier and better life. This is the Lawyer Dana Show.